You may not like this, but the reason you're not getting views isn't because your content is bad, it's because your system is non-existent. Hey, my name is Ethan. I run Blackfire Consulting, a content marketing agency where we've contributed to 325 million plus views across client accounts, theme pages, and internal channels. And in this video, we're breaking down the exact short form system you can use to 10x your growth without posting more, guessing more, or burning yourself out. And yes, don't worry, here's some social proof. So this is Fox Hustle, for a 20x view count in just 7 days of posting, successful creeds, which eventually got to 100 million views and 280,000 subscribers, and more proof of more screenshots. So, everything I'm sharing comes from real retention data, internal systems, and the exact patterns we've seen across dozens of creators. And I know for a fact a lot of you watching this right now are stuck in this exact same loop. You have content, but no time to turn it into short form content. You then outsource, but the editors don't understand your brand in the first place, so everything feels like a knockoff version of you. Another issue is that you post inconsistently because life hits you with school, clients, work, etc. What is even worse is posting content for the sake of content and praying that it'll grow your business. Most creators think I need better ideas, but what they really need is a pipeline feeding the algorithm every single day. So if you don't document, you forget. And if you forget the solution, you don't solve your problem. So the solution is the short form content system. This is the universal system on how every successful creator creates engaging and compelling content. Everything starts with identity. Who you are, how you speak, what you stand for, and why people watch you in the first place. So, creativity. So the hooks, pacing, pattern interrupts, humor, tension, camera placement. That's the reason people keep watching. And finally, distribution, which includes volume, productivity, consistency. That's the reason you scale. Identity gets attention, creativity keeps that attention, and distribution compounds the attention. So every piece of content runs through a proprietary system built to protect your brand. That means we just don't clip the videos, we meticulously study your identity, your tone, your pacing, your arguments, the way you teach, the way you joke, or the way your audience responds. Then we run your long form through a multi-stage pipeline, going over your brand voice, identity, taking the best clips from your videos, finding your current situation on retention and where you want to go from there, pacing, scripting if needed, distribution strategy, and platform-specific formatting. This ensures every video matches your voice 100%, avoids retention killers, and grows your business. A good marketer helps you get that attention. However, a great marketer, which you want, gets you attention and helps you convert that attention. So for example, look at Brandon Dawson. He has over 420,000 YouTube subscribers. However, the thing is, his long-form videos are only pulling a couple thousand views. Why? Because of mismatched B-roll and inconsistent content structure, as shown here. He's losing about 8 to 15% retention from B-roll that doesn't match the emotion of what he's saying. Obviously, there are dozens of factors in any creator's performance of the video itself. B-roll is just one example. So bad B-roll hurts more than good B-roll helps. The solution is simple. Either perfectly align your B-roll or use clean camera cuts every few seconds to keep engagement high. Especially, I would strongly suggest this for Brandon Dawson because he is a personal brand. People want to see you, not a stock image. Another argument is, like I said, people want to see you, not a stock clip. And just to be clear, this isn't me judging Brandon. I like his content. This is just what the retention data shows when emotion and visuals don't align. And none of this is a Brandon problem. This happens to creators at every level. The algorithm doesn't really care how many followers you have. If can happen to someone with over 400,000 subscribers, it can happen to anyone, including you. The same principle applies to your content. Bad content hurts more than good content helps. Every clip needs to match the tone and emotion of the video by 100%. If it doesn't, the algorithm punishes you and your audience quietly checks out. All of this damages your brand whether you see it or not. Once your identity is set, we study your speech patterns, your pacing, the way you build arguments, your sarcastic tone, the way you talk to the bro, I just want to go viral crowd. Then it pulls only the strongest moments from your long form videos. So, I'm not saying viral views don't matter. I'm not saying all views are created equal. Let me show you something. This video I posted hit over 3.1 million views and 490,000 likes, which is great for ego, but it barely moved the needle for my business. Why? Because even though the story resonated, the identity didn't. It wasn't my face, my voice, or my philosophy. It was a repost. Before anyone says, yes, views matter, yes, variety helps, but unless your identity is attached to the content, you're just growing someone else's personal brand, not to your own. And this is the part where most creators always get confused. Viral views only matter if the video ties the content back to you. And everything I'm telling you comes from analyzing what we've done internally and externally for past and current clients. And views aren't cash unless you have a system behind them. Everything I'm showing you comes from patterns we've seen across dozen creators, internal or external. Sure, you can make a little from AdSense, maybe a couple $100 here or there, but that's not meaningful revenue. It's not predictable, it's not really tied to your brand, and you can't really build a business on it. Going viral does not matter if the viewer can't tie that content back to you. So here are some frameworks to help with this issue. HAD, hook, authority, distribution. So this is the backbone of every high-performing video. VCA, it anchors the viewer with a clean shot of who you are or what the brand is to avoid frying their dopamine monkey brain. Next is proof phase. Similar to like future pacing in sales, it's you just get the trust and you take their current situation and where do you want to go. T-bomb, transformations, micro breakdowns, process films. This is just more of a specific authority type of video category. PRL just means post predictably and consistently. Die, every good video needs to die. Disrupt, inject, execute. Disrupt, the hook. Inject, the entertainment, the value, the education, etc. Execute. 90% of people never get to the execute part. They don't actually record the video in the first place. That's why all three of them are very crucial. So this is the backbone. Once it's built, content becomes predictable, scalable, and winnable. How to find teams or potentially work with us. You could build this yourself, but only if you think like a strategist, not an editor. If you just want someone to chop up clips, you're already losing. You need someone who understands your identity, not just the captions on a video. Someone who plans the content, not just color corrects it. Someone who knows the difference between a hook and a headline. Someone who won't turn your voice into a generic agency templated mush, which no one wants to happen. If you outsource, I would suggest don't look for a creative team, look for a strategic team. Someone who could tell you why your last 10 posts underperform. Someone who understands that retention, specific rules about each and every platform, content strategies, and why certain clips go viral but convert terribly. Most views are not equal. You already know that, so you need a team that optimizes for visibility and conversion. So before any system works, yours or ours, you need the foundation. You need clean footage, stable audio, and enough long-form volume to fuel daily output. You need a tight message or niche so viewers recognize you in 2 seconds. You need a consistent posting schedule. Suggestions are daily, 3 times a week, etc., and clarity on who you're speaking to. Once this foundation exists, everything becomes automatic, identity becomes clear, creativity becomes efficient, distribution becomes predictable, and the system finally compounds. If you want help building the system, or if you want us to run the entire thing for you, book a call down below, and no, the call won't be with a closer or some traditional sales script we're all tired of, like, what would do that for you personally? It's where we actually specifically break down your content and how you can use content to your advantage, not your disadvantage. If you want, additionally, for free value, I'll break down your last 20 posts on that call so you can see exactly where your retention is dying. If you want to stop relying on luck and start actually relying on systems, book a call down below and we're going to show you exactly what this looks like for your brand. Adios.